Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Munce Report. Joining us in the hot seat this week is none other than Corey Munce, senior foreperson with the Munce Racing Stable and, of course, son of Kathy and Chris. Welcome, Corey. It's nice to have you back on the show. You've been a little elusive in recent times, but with Chris up at Rockhampton for this weekend's Rockhampton Carnival, we've managed to jag you on the show, so welcome aboard.
G'day, Adam. G'day, John, and hello all to everyone that's watching at home. I seem to fly under the radar a little bit too much lately, but I got the call up yesterday from yourself, Adam, and I tried palming it off to Al, but he ducked the gap and left off pretty quickly. So here I am.
Al Russell, not one for the limelight either, but good to have you on. And Birdie, welcome to you as usual. John Bird from Unibet, welcome, and nice to see some racing back on this weekend, mate. After a wet weekend, put a bit of a dampener on things last week.
Yes, we had 3 race leaders get through 2 or 3 races each get called off, and then the weekend was just obliterated.
Yeah, but there's plenty of racing this weekend and lots to talk about. So let's get into exactly that. As I mentioned, the Rockhampton Carnival kicks off on Friday. And there's also the rescheduled feature Sunshine Coast meeting along with Saturday's Doomben meeting. But before we get into the preview, let's catch up on some of the highlights from during the week. And what about the win of Smart Meteor, Corey, after a 570-day absence from the winner's stall? And Big David, as he's affectionately known, certainly showed us all he has what it takes and he didn't stick his head out, he won quite well.
Yeah, he certainly won very well, I thought. Larry Cassidy was back on board. He loves Eagle Farm. I thought, the freshen up between runs, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks between runs and back to a mile. I thought that was really going to suit him. It was really good for the owners to finally get back in the winner's stall. He's a little bit of a frustrating horse, not the fact that he doesn't run, up to expectation, but he's just always, finds a little reason to get beat, whether it be, the weight on his back or, a soft track. Whereas I think we found, everything to, get him back into the winner's stall being, a reduction in weight and to a track of his liking.
Yeah, for sure. It was good to see. And as you say, even though it may have been 570 days between wins, he'd certainly been running good races. And that takes his prize money past the 200,000 mark. So he's done quite well, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, look, you wouldn't be complaining about a horse that's only won a couple of races and still pocketed, over $200,000 in his short career. So, there's definitely more wins in store for him. And, there was maybe a small concern whether or not he had enough last start. He was sort of, didn't finish too far away with him, away from the others, but, he probably didn't let down as well as we would have thought. So, as I said, the freshen up between runs and he really let down and was a great result for all.
Yeah, certainly was. Good to see some of the connections there yesterday, despite the sort of restrictions and the mask wearing. But yeah, obviously they enjoyed the win. Okay, well, let's get into the Rockhampton preview, guys, starting with Moonshiner, who gets things underway in race 1. Corey, his last run was a bit unlike him. He's usually quite consistent. Did you guys put it down to anything, and how is he heading into this?
Look, we didn't put it down to anything, one thing in particular. He's not a big horse. He had to carry the top weight of 60-odd kilos. The wet track potentially was something that we could put it down to, and maybe he just didn't handle the trip away. I'm not too sure, just the travel on the day being that. But, Justin's back on board. I think the straight at Rocky should suit. He's drawn favourably and, I think he should be back to his better form.
Okay, and speaking of the travel for this one, obviously, so the Moonshiner and Stampy heading up for the Carnival. How have you guys approached that? Obviously, it's a long way to go. You don't have the option of doing it in one day or whatever. So how have the pair travelled up there?
Yeah, well, one of our long-term staff members, Juliet Partridge, has journeyed up with a few horses there yesterday being Wednesday, and they're going to be stabled up there obviously for the few days leading up to Friday's race meeting. They went for a nice sort of trot and canter this morning, and it just gives them an opportunity to settle in and see their surroundings rather than travelling up, making that 7 hour journey, even the day before or the day of the race.
Very good. I'm sure whoever's in the truck with Juliet, it'll be an entertaining 7-hour road trip. She's a bit of a character, so no doubt there'll be some stories coming out of that one.
For sure.
All right, Bertie. Well, before we get into Stampy, in the big one, the Rockhampton Newmarket, what can you give us any insights on Moonshiner in the market for race 1 at Rockhampton?
Yeah, Moonshine is $4.20 and $1.80. So after a last start failure, going up there to a Cup Day race, it probably should get out in the market, I reckon.
Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, if he can run up to his usual form, and you forgive, as Corey said, that last run for whatever reason, he's worth a little follow. And Corey, Stampy, he's in the big one, the Rockhampton Newmarket, which is obviously a revised sort of assignment after his Brisbane Winter campaign. How is he heading into this? And because obviously he's had a bit of a freshen up, and when you guys set the sights on this one, yeah, what did you have to do to get him ready for this?
Well, not too much to tell you the truth, Adam. Obviously, he had a small gallop there on eyeliner day at Ipswich where he was due to run. Obviously, he'd done a little too much there to, go forward into the barriers, and he'd had a little gallop there with Larry on board there at the races. So, he had a good piece of work there on Saturday. He run time, which he usually does. Seeing his form and working back from that, I think he sort of runs his better races when he does work like what we saw there on Saturday. He looks super. We were just talking about it the other day, but before he left, it's probably the best we've seen him. He's in a great mind, a great headspace. He's eating every bit of his feed, and he's drawn favourably again. And I think Rocky should suit him.
Yeah, well, he's obviously, although it is a feature race, and no doubt it'll be a great day at the Rocky Cup. Yeah, definitely a different level of competition to what he's faced in recent weeks over the winter. So it'd be great to see him get a result for his owners, Phil Gutsky and Mal Schumacher. So, Bertie, can you give us an insight on the market here with Stampy?
You can. Stampy $6 and $2.25. The interesting early betting move in the race was it really discreet. It was Scratch from Doomben and a good $1,200 bet on it earlier on. And it's $4.40 into $4. So there's been a little bit of early activity there.
Bit of early activity. Okay, well, that's interesting. But Stampy's certainly in the market. And now, obviously, there's a bit of confidence there. You can tell the in Corey's voice and just how he is heading into this. Can you guys do something special for the Munce Racing faithful on Stampy?
What we'll do then, at the present place price of $2.25, we'll give an uplift to $3. So Stampy over 1, 2, 3, $3 a place to Munce Racing.
Very good. I like it. Well, thanks for that, Bertie. That sounds pretty juicy odds on him. So I'm sure Phil Gutsky will be having something about that. So let's move over to the Doomben preview, where the track's currently a soft 6, obviously a bit of finer weather this week as opposed to the wet last week. Degar gets us underway in the Class 3 handicap over the 1200, barrier 5 for Justin Huxtable. And Corey, he was a really good run first up from back in the field.
Yeah, it's probably one of the better runs I've ever seen him put in. I thought it was very eye-catching. Wasn't a complete surprise to see him, finish the way he did, just in terms of the way he looks. And I think this time, as I've said to a few of the owners, he is a lot more forward than he ever has been, just in terms of his figure. So, on Saturday, I think if we have a little bit of luck there, I think he's drawn favourably. I think with Justin on board, he's better weighted. He should be sort of a very good each way chance.
Okay, sounds like, yeah, he's ready to rumble, and it was a good, even though he did start at odds first up, it was a good run. Bertie, what does the market think about Degar?
Degar presently is $18 and $5 a place.
Wow, okay, very good.
Sounds pretty good value on his last start run.
And anything been backed in the market as yet?
No early business there yet.
yeah, lots of racing, obviously, and we're recording the show on Thursday, so see what happens there. But sounds like a pretty good push for anyone that does like Degar. Unguarded is the next runner in race 7, a Class 6 plate over the 1200. Second up here for Larry Cassidy from Barrier 6. And Corey, did she not handle the track at Eagle Farm last start? It was a bit of an uncharacteristic run first up.
Well, I never would have thought she'd be the sort of horse that would let down at Eagle Farm, and I think coming back to Doomben where she has won before, up in trip a little bit, I think, and being a soft track, I think she's definitely going to turn it around on the weekend. Even though I didn't think she let down too much there on her last run, I still didn't think it was terrible. She didn't finish too far away from them. So we'll see where she's at on Saturday, and it wouldn't surprise me to see her in the top 4.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, has won here before, and she's got that blistering finish when she does finish off. So, Birdie, what does the market think about Unguarded here?
Unguarded's $26 and $6. The favourite race in the race is called Axe. It was scratched in the morning on Wednesday in Grafton, and we've had a $2,000 bet on it already, so it's fancy.
Okay, and I guess not surprising given Unguarded's first up run, but as Corey said, there's a bit of context there. So, well, there you go. We move over to race 8, where there's 2 acceptors here in the benchmark 85 handicap over the 1350. Boom Sarah, barrier 16 for Madeline Wishart, who's claiming the 3 kilos off the 62.5 impost there, and Super Bowl Sunday, barrier 9 for Ronnie Stewart. I guess, Corey, the thing here, Boom Sarah, your boy, he's entered for both this race and also the Sunshine Coast Glasshouse as well.
Yeah, Adam, I'm just speaking to the old man before, and I think we're probably going to lean towards racing Boom Sarah on Sunday at the sunny coast. As you know, just depending on what this weather's going to do in the next couple of days, I think they're predicting some rain tomorrow, being Friday. So I'm tipping, the horse will go wherever the track is firmer. I think he's a horse that doesn't really let go or let down on a wet track. Soft being the worst ground that we'd want him to go on. And I think even if the races were to go ahead last weekend, he probably still wouldn't have run.
Yeah, for sure. Chris did say that. So I guess in a way it could be a blessing that week off if the track does dry out and he gets to run in the feature race at the Sunshine Coast. All right, well, let's touch on the other runner here for this race, Super Bowl Sunday, barrier 9 for Ronnie Stewart. How's Super Bowl travelling?
Yeah, he's a laid back customer. He's very cool. He again, like myself, we both fly under the radar, and he's in great order. He's very bright. He's very well and fresh. Doomben, I think he'll like Doomben, and the soft going there as well at the moment, as long as we don't get too heavy. But Ronnie Stewart's on board. I think he's got to be around about the top sort of 4 or 5 horses, I would think, as well.
Sure. Well, he finished 5th last start, beaten just over 3 lengths by Fobiter, who ran second in yesterday's Ramornie. So pretty good form for this. Birdie, what does the market think about Super Bowl Sunday?
Presently $18 and $5 the place, but with Boom Sarah coming out, there'll be a reduction there for sure. But
okay.
Yes, on Corey's assessment of how it's going, $18 even after the deductions will be pretty good odds, I'd say.
Yeah, sounds like it. Again, another runner at sort of juicy odds when you can make a case. So, well, good luck to all those runners at Doomben on Saturday. Let's move over to the Sunshine Coast preview. A bit of case of deja vu here. Obviously, with the meeting called off last week, acceptances were recalled and the revised fields have just come out this morning. Unfortunately, not so good news with the barrier draw for the Munce Racing Trio. Bedini's Girl, barrier 12, Pelisipan, barrier 16. And Boom Sarah, barrier 11. But I guess you both have some insights with barriers here at the Sunshine Coast, Corey?
Yeah, it's deja vu, but worse. I think with the barrier situation, sometimes it can work in your favour, and sometimes it definitely goes against you. And Sunday is definitely against us. I think with all of our runners there, that they're sort of three horses that have shown, that they want to go forward, and it's probably going to be a little bit hard to, it's going to make harder work for it from them gates, unfortunately. But that's racing, and you got to be in it to win it.
Sure. And Bertie, I know you, obviously being a numbers man, how do the wider barriers fare at the Sunshine Coast? I guess there could be worse tracks to draw wide.
When the false rail goes back to the normal position up there, being out wide is probably the right place to be. And it is the fairest track we've got as well. So I don't think the barriers are too big a risk for any horse, and probably get a better price.
Okay, well, there you go. And Corey, just touching on the runners, how has the week been? Obviously, we previewed them last week, but Annie's Girl lining up in the Bruce McLaughlin Classic, Pelisipan and the Winx Guineas, and Boomstar, as we mentioned, in the Glasshouse. How has it been, I guess, with their prep this week due to run last week, and have they just been ticking over heading into this, or has the extra week been a good thing, a bad thing? Talk us through that for each of the runners.
Yeah, well, look, they were primed and ready to go last weekend. For the most part, it was a shame they got called off. But this week they all had a little bit of work there on early on in the week. Everyone all the riders were very pleased with their work, and to the eye, they all worked very good. Berdini's girl, we probably throw a set of shades on her, and I think her and Pelisipan, win, lose or draw, they're probably due for a spell. They've been up a long time now, so all the runners are very fit and well, and happy and ready to go at the races.
Very good. Okay, well, Bertie, last week we had the special price push on Pelisipan. Obviously, didn't get off the ground with the meeting called off, but are we going to go again this week?
At the moment, Pelisipan is $6.50 and $2.35 the place. So I'll give you the place push there again for $3 the place. Pelisipan this week as well.
Sounds good odds. So despite the draw, Pelisipan to run top three in the Winx Guineas sounds pretty good for an unbeaten filly who's had a great preparation. And just quickly, Bertie, before we let you go and talk about any other offers, Berdini's Girl and Boom Sarah, have you got prices on those as of yet? I know the markets have just not long come out. The fields have just been finalised.
Yeah, the only markets up so far is the Glasshouse and the Winx. And in the Glasshouse, Boom Sarah is 21 and 6s.
Okay. Again, some juicy odds there for anyone that's taking the big boom on his last last run behind Snitch in the eyeliner. All right, Bertie, before we let you go, any other offers across the board this weekend that the Munce Racing faithful should know about?
You'll get your money back 1, 2, 3 for any bets: Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide and Perth. I think it's races 1, 2 and 3. That's the main one we've got this weekend, besides the Munce Racing specials. Very
good. Well, sounds like two great offers there with both Stampy and Pelisipan. Give them strength, and thanks for your time, Bertie.
Munce Racing Club members, please look in the vault by Friday, because you'll have your specials there for Stampy in the Newmarket at Rockhampton, and then we'll have one on Sunday for you as well in Pelisipan. Good luck, everyone.
All right, Corey, let's finish off with the provincial runners over the weekend. There's 3 runners heading to Bow Desert on Saturday. Cartier kicks things off in race 1. She's second up here, and is it fair to say getting up to a bit of a more suitable distance here, second up over the 1,400 metres?
Yeah, most definitely. She was always going to be the sort of horse that, probably would have needed the run to continue on with her racing preparation. She's drawn a little bit sticky again there at Bow Desert on Saturday, but we've got the assistance of young Olivia Webb, who's having her first ride for the stable, and she claims 3 kilos. 1,400 is definitely going to suit her a lot more.
Okay, and I believe Olivia's had a bit of history with the stable, and as you say, having her first ride.
Yeah, Olivia, she used to work as a stable hand on the ground with us a while back now, actually. And then I think she popped out of racing for a little bit, and she's back now as an apprentice, and she's been riding winners most weekends.
Very good. Well, good luck to her. She's also riding Royal Sheen, the Kathy Munce owned Royal Sheen, in the Class 4 plate over the 1,300 metres. How's Royal Sheen, the grey, going to go first up here for your mum?
Yeah, well, we threw a late nom in for this race here. I think 1,300 is definitely going to suit him a lot more than I think he was nommed in an 1,100 there at Bow Desert. So again, he's drawn sort of out there again, but he typically can sort of take a few strides to get rolling, and then when he does, he cruises very comfortably, and the 3 kilos off his back is definitely going to suit over the 1,300.
Okay, very good. And then the other runner entered for the program is 3 Point Missile, who is in race 7, but his third emergency. So I guess you guys just sort of sweating on a run for him.
Yeah, it's obviously it's a question mark if he will get a run, especially being third emergency. I think you can forgive his last run there the other day. Again, he was sort of in a similar boat to Moonshiner. Whether or not he handled the tight track. That again, that's a query, and also being on the wet, I'm not too sure. He's a very, he's a horse that can sort of let you down in a way in terms of his looks, because he always looks amazing. But I think coming into Saturday's race will be a lot fitter for the run. And I'm thinking we'll see a different horse there on Saturday.
Yeah, well, they have been a bit uncharacteristic his first 2 runs, haven't they? He had a really consistent prep last week, so hopefully he can find his best form on Saturday. All right, mate. Well, that's the preview. That's a wrap. Before we let you go, I guess we can't, not have you on the show without asking how's the other role you're playing at the moment as the manager for Zach Spree.
Yeah, it's something I've sort of half wanted to do for a little while. And Zach come along, and we spoke about it, and I thought it'd be an opportunity for both of us to learn how to do it. And for me, it's been a bit of a learning curve. I guess you see both sides of the story now. That the annoying manager calling up the trainer and vice versa. So it's sort of when he first sort of was kicking off, it was very hard, and it was quite hard to get a ride for him. Obviously, for nobody knows who Zach Spree is, but now it's starting to work in my favour, and I'm getting called for rides, which is really good. And I think he's picked up another couple of rides there just before, and we'll have 5 there on Saturday.
Well, very good. He obviously had his first winner the other day, and as satisfying as it would have been for him, I guess you would have got a kick out of that, given it's all a new caper for you, and sort of a bit of the hard work to get in these rides obviously paid off.
Yeah, it was a bit of an adrenaline rush. I haven't experienced that in a little while. It was a huge thrill for myself, but more importantly for Zach is that's something he'll never forget, something I won't ever forget. And his first sort of race winner there for Jason Edwards on Hallside Hanky Panky, it was just an effortless sort of ride, and the horse was definitely too good on the day.
Very good, mate. Well, good luck with that side of things with Zach in the coming weeks. Obviously, it looks like he's building a bit of momentum, which is good to hear. And good luck to yourself and Connections over the weekend with what's a big weekend of racing for the stable.
Thanks, Adam, and good luck to all of our owners. And hopefully we can have a little bit of luck. That's all we need.